What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over this super quick and easy last minute date night look, perfect for Valentine's Day this week. Or even if your friends give you a call and they just want to go out and have a good time, you won't have an excuse not to get up and get ready because it's that easy. So if you are interested, which I know you are, just keep on watching. I've had my matcha, now let's get started. First of all, I'm going to prime my skin super easy and quick with the Smashbox Photo Finish Iconic Primer Stick just down the center, especially where I have these breakouts on my forehead, just to smooth everything out. Everything else will be just fine. I really only ever focus on the areas that have like pores and texture and things like that. Laugh lines. I usually get a little texture here, here, pretty much all the way down the center of the face. I always avoid the tip of the nose because I feel like foundation for some reason just doesn't like to stick to the nose when there's a lot of primer there, so I kind of just avoid that area, but apply it everywhere else. Also, a little tip around the lips, a primer like this will help to prevent your lipstick from bleeding out. Pro tip. And what I usually do is I just kind of press it in with a beauty blender to make sure that primer is really in there. And then for foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation in shade 30. This foundation has just been working really well with my skin lately, especially while I have all these like little breakouts and texture. It's been amazing on my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and just pat that onto the skin with that same beauty blender. I'm going to do a little bit of brightening on the inner corner part of the eyes with my LANCOME concealer in the shade Bisque. To make it really fast, I'm just going to apply a little bit on the tip of my finger, just a tiny bit like that, warm it up, and then press it in. I'm actually going to use a little bit of this concealer on my sunspots just to color correct them because this is more of a peachy salmon color. That way I don't have to do an additional step with the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage that I love so much. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight down the center of the face after I'm done correcting these sunspots. And then for my concealer down the center of the face, I'm using NARS Natural, now I'm confusing it for the name of the foundation, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Canelle. I'm just going to apply it underneath the eyes and then blend it out with my finger everywhere else down the center of the face and then further blend it out with the beauty blender. And then I'm going to do that same trick I did in my last video where I'm going to highlight before doing the rest of my makeup. So I'm also going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the Smashbox Lid Primer in Light. I think I mentioned this before, but it's pretty much the same color as Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. So if you have that, you can use that as well. I just like these more fluid eyeshadow primers versus Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And then I'm going to blend it out with my Baby Beauty Blender. I love the Baby Beauty Blender. I know it seems like ridiculous and kind of like an add-on, but honestly, it gets into the small areas really, really well. And it makes blending out your eyeshadow primer super fast. And to set everything, I'm using the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder to make it super quick and easy. I'm going to use my Beauty Blender to set everything under the eyes and the rest of the face. And to make everything super quick and easy, I'm going to use my Beauty Blender to set everything. And this is damp, which actually makes pressing the powder in really easy. I feel like it makes everything more crease proof. So I'm going to go ahead and just press this powder into the skin and set the face. So I start with the under eyes and then I kind of just press that powder in everywhere else. Even a little bit on the brow bone to make blending the eyeshadow really easy. But this is just like a super quick and easy way to blend your eyeshadow out. Don't forget to pick up the creasing first though, because if not, you'll set it in place. So I use the pointed end for underneath the eyes and then the rounder, larger side of the Beauty Blender to press the powder in everywhere else. And for a highlight, I'm using this palette again from ColourPop. I really love this guy. I feel like I actually use all of the colors versus just using one or two. I'm going to use this one up here. And I'm using my Spotlight Duster F37 from Sigma and just sweeping that onto the high points of the face very lightly to create a nice glow on the face. Uh-oh, a little too much there. But we're gonna move on to the eyes. For the eyes, I'm gonna be using this Give It To Me Straight palette from ColourPop. I've just been on a ColourPop kick. I think that their products are amazing. If you have the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay, it's pretty similar. You'll be able to pull off this look with that Urban Decay palette. I'm gonna start with this color right here, just popping it into the crease to create some definition to the eyes. Also, it has like a slight pinky undertone to it, so it's gonna really pull out of the pink in the shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and fluff that into the crease. Just very lightly, mainly focusing it on this outer V portion of the eye. I'm also gonna pop that same eyeshadow onto the lower lash line. And I'm actually gonna switch over to this other ColourPop eyeshadow palette, Semi Precious, because I did play around with this look before and I feel like this shadow showed up or gave more of the effect that I was looking for versus this one up here. This one shows up a little more bronzy gold, whereas the other one shows up like a true pink. See the difference in the color? I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I'm gonna apply it with my finger first and then a second time with a wet brush just to give it more of a metallic finish. Look at how pretty that is though. If you're really in a rush, you can get away with just applying it with your finger and leaving it as is. I'm gonna be a little extra and go in with the wet brush. I'm gonna lightly blend out the edges really quick before going in with the wet shadow. So I just used Fix Plus to wet the brush, and now I'm just gonna glide it on top. If you wanna keep it super simple and really quick, you can leave the eyes here, but I'm gonna show you guys how you can create a really soft wing just to add a little extra oomph. I'm gonna be using this MILANI Stay Put eyeliner in the shade Hooked on Espresso. So it's not black, it almost looks black. Here's a swatch, but it's more of like a smoky, like espresso color as it says. So it's gonna look a little softer on the eyes. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of the liner right here, just like that much. And then with an angled eyeliner brush, this is a Smith 205 brush, I'm gonna start blending it out to create a wing. Really quick and easy. And you can add a little more if it's not blending out as much as you'd like it to, or it's not creating a wing, just add a little more, keep building on it, but don't add too much to begin with because then you'll end up with a dark wing and we want it to look really soft. I'm also gonna add just a tiny bit right here to connect that liner to the lower lash line and then blend it up to connect the line. And then with that same liner, I'm only gonna fill in the waterline on this outer corner. It's gonna create more of that cat eye effect when this is filled in to meet that same liner that's on the outside of the eye. So just a little bit of liner right here and up here to expand the eyes this way, like a cat. And that's all that there is to it. And then for the brows, I'm gonna fill in the top just a tiny bit with the DIOR brow styler because I'm also gonna go in with a tinted brow gel. Tinted brow gels are the fastest way to fill in your brows if you already have a good amount of brow hair. I'm gonna be using this one from Hourglass, the Arc Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel in Dark Brunette. And I'm just gonna hold off on brow gel and mascara until I'm done with the rest of the face and have misted everything, so let's move back to the skin. For my bronzer today, I'm using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. I have fallen back in love after using it in the past couple tutorials. I remembered how much I love this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh, anytime the powder goes in your mouth, it does taste like chocolate. But I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the hollows of the cheeks, forehead, jawline, and down the neck. If you want to cut down on some time, you can also use your bronzer as some cheek color, but I think I'm gonna add a little bit of blush to this look. And for my blush, I'm using one of the JOUER blush duos. This one is in the color FLIRT. I'm only gonna be using this shimmery light pink shade over here. And this is a Luxie 522 tapered highlighting brush. And then with a really large brush, I'm just gonna buff across the entire face to make sure everything looks nice and blended. I'm also gonna use that same brush to add a little more powder to the center of my forehead because I'm looking a little shiny. And then I'm gonna mist myself and then go in with that brow gel. And for mascara, I just received this one the other day. If you saw my Insta stories, a guy in a pink astronaut suit delivered this mascara. And I saw everyone using it and it made their lashes look amazing. So I thought I would test it out today because we're gonna skip false lashes. We're in a rush, we don't have time for them. The brush is really tiny, I like that. However, the bristles are more of the plastic type of bristles. But let's see. The bristles actually do a really good job at gripping the lashes. I was skeptical, but it seems to work really, really good. Okay, so now I'm going in with a second coat because I feel like the first coat, they didn't look really thick. They looked long, but there wasn't volume there. So now we're gonna add a little more fullness with the second coat. And here is a before and after for you guys. This mascara really is that good. What? That is insane. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the other side. But for my lower lashes, I'm gonna be using Tarte's Lifted because it doesn't transfer my under eyes. I feel like this one will. And I thought I would just show you guys again how I remove mascara from my eyeshadow because I have a lot on here right now. Clean blending brush, just buff it away. And if you can't get it off with a clean blending brush, spoolie brush also works. And for the lips, keeping it super simple with a gloss, one that is close to your natural lip color with a little bit of glitter. I think it looks so pretty and natural. I discovered this one the other day from Lancome. I don't know the exact name of this gloss, but the shade is 230. I will of course link it down below for you guys. And I really gotta start adding that inner corner highlight when I'm working on the eyes because I always almost forget when I'm done with these videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that same highlighter on the face, on the inner corner. I knew something was missing. I was already doing my intro and outro and I was like, something doesn't look complete. But now we're all done. And that completes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if this is something that you'll be recreating this week for Valentine's Day, whatever it is that you're doing. Know that I love you guys so much. So happy Valentine's Day from me to you. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, share it with everyone you know, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.